The following has been brought to you by SJP World Media.
Want to hear this show first? No ads, no fuss. You can at patreon.com/Benny Mac Productions. Thanks for listening. You're listening to In the Corner with Benny Mac. Unfiltered, uncensored, and unforgiving. Here's the man in the corner, Benny Mac.
One day I will get out of the corner. Hello, I am Benny Mac, of course. Welcome to In the Corner. Welcome to this Patreon exclusive episode. Again, this will be available for about 2 weeks for Patreons like yourself, so thank you very much. But it will be on the SJP World Media site on the feed there after 2 weeks. Joining me for this Patreon exclusive, again, he's becoming a bit of a regular already, but NJB joins me as we are going to be discussing SummerSlam 1998. How you doing, NJB?
I'm very well. I said you before, as long as your checks don't bounce, I will be here.
Well, as I said, they're in the post, mate, so you just keep an eye out.
Okay. Why does they can't bounce the post, can they?
Yeah, man. Yeah, obviously SummerSlam is coming up very soon in the next couple of weeks as we record this, so it's kind of naturally fallen. Let's talk some SummerSlam. And as we were talking on the, I think on the Money in the Bank show and possibly on the top 5 WWE, bouts that we chose, we kept talking about SummerSlam. You brought up SummerSlam 98 because it was the first show WWF Rise that you ever saw, right?
Yeah, it was. Well, to be fair, it was the first pay-per-view I'd ever saw. Because even though, as you well know, I watched WCW when I first got into wrestling.
Yeah,
I didn't know where to watch their pay-per-views. I mean, whereas like the WWF would go, yeah, you can catch our pay-per-views on Sky Sports at such and such time.
Yeah, and then they went into Sky Box Office a bit, didn't they?
Before the WWE Network came out, I had never watched the WCW pay-per-view.
Do you know what? The only time I ever caught any WCW stuff was on Channel 5 over here, and that's when Channel 5 was relatively a new channel. And that makes it sound really old now, because everybody's like, Channel 5? There was only 5 channels? Yes, unless you had Sky, there was only 5 terrestrial channels, ladies and gents, over here in the UK. I still remember, mate. I still remember the guy coming around testing the signal for Channel 5 in our house. It was so weird. And Channel 5 basically was, it was just softcore porn for the first 6 months, to be honest.
It was more or less, yeah.
They had nothing. I say that, I was about 16 years old, so it is what it is.
Not that I'm complaining about that.
No, I wasn't complaining about it. Something I didn't really put together, which seems so weird now that once I thought, I was like, how have I not noticed this before? So your first show, excuse me, was SummerSlam 1998. The show took place in Madison Square Garden. Yep. My first show, 2 years later, in the Royal Rumble, was also in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, no way.
I didn't even think of that, mate. Do you know what I mean? So I'm 2 years behind you in terms of when I watched the WWF, but I basically started in the same arena, if you want to go from that point of view. It's just random, So I just put that together earlier. So I've seen clips of this pay-per-view myself, mate. I have never watched it in its entirety, although one little gripe I'm going to put forward before we get into the show, mate, is...
Go on.
Is it me, or is it... Does this seem like it's been taken off a VHS tape? Because there's backstage exclusives, there seems to be things cut out of it. Obviously, you can fill that in for me a bit later on. But when they have certain things happening, it feels like it's been very roughly cut. I mean, really roughly cut in places. Like all of a sudden, oh, here's JR and King again, or oh, there's somebody in the ring. There's stuff like that happening.
Well, I mean, it is from '98, so I mean, it's not as if it's like the sort of equipment that we have available to like recording a show today. I mean, it could well have been a tape copy that was digitized and then added to the network. So, I mean,
yeah, but you think they'd have the sort of hard copies of this, considering it's their maybe there's something wrong with it. I don't know. It just seemed a bit weird to me that it sort of cut off here and then that was it. But yeah, anyway, we'll get into that anyway. Just before we get into the pay-per-view, mate, 1998, a long time ago, obviously.
Start reminding me.
Yeah, it was 98.
I feel old enough as it is.
Was a long time ago. Did I tell you that already? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you're older than me, so this should be affecting you too.
Yeah, I know. I feel it. Trust me. As I said, I wasn't watching until 2000, so you know. But anyway, I thought, well, let's find out some facts from 1998. And I was going to look at fuel prices, and I thought it would be really depressing, so I didn't. So I went for something a bit happier. And so in the UK chart, then in number one in August, mate. So this is when his pay-per-view was. Pay-per-view. This actually was the end of August. In fairness, August 30th, wasn't it? SummerSlam 1998. But UK's number one in August, mate, was the Manic Street Preachers. If you tolerate this, your children will be next. That was one.
That's a cheerful title.
Yeah. But just to make it a bit happier, and to be honest, I didn't mean for this to happen, but it makes sense at the same time. Also, it hit number one that year in Christmas time, mate. Was Chef with Chocolate Salty Balls, mate.
That was a Christmas number one. Did you just say?
There you go. Chocolate Soy Balls got to play a little bit. Can't get away with it otherwise. No, it was actually number one on the 27th in December of 1998, but around Christmas time anyway. And considering of all the things that were happening in this pay-per-view, there's a few people wearing a South Park shirt, so it makes perfect sense, to be totally honest. I didn't manage to... Mate, I couldn't have planned this any better, to be totally honest with you. But I thought you'd find that funny. Obviously, you're a big South Park fan, and so yeah, I just found that absolutely hilarious. I mean, do you want to get into the first match, mate? Yeah.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so this is SummerSlam 1998. It was August 30th, as I said, 1998, and in Madison Square Garden. There were certain moments in this, mate, I was getting flashbacks of the Rumble because of the outside the entranceway where that short entrance they used to use at MSG.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So the first match of the night is Mr. D'Lo Brown versus Val Venus, and I did pick up on the fact that he's now residing from somewhere in Finland. I think it was. I forgot. Helsinki. There we go. And to be honest, do you know what? I was disappointed because in my head I was expecting "You're looking at the real dude now" music, and it wasn't there, mate. I was gutted by that.
This is Nation D'Lo Brown. Remember, not.
Yeah. So
I
was going to ask this actually: is the Nation, is Farouk still in the Nation at this point, or is they fractured at this point?
Rock is the leader of the Nation because if you remember, Austin won the title from Michaels in '98.
The same year,
and then the next night on Raw, DX, Triple H took the reins of DX, and also the Nation turned on Farouk and made Rock the new leader.
That happened the same night.
Yeah, I believe it was the same night.
Oh, mate,
because I remember.
Didn't know.
Because I remember King making a comment like, "What a night this is." Farouk is out of the Nation, and now it looks as if Shawn Michaels is out of DX.
Wow, if that, I'm gonna have to double check that, man. But if that's true, do you know?
I'm sure I've heard that on commentary.
Mate. You could be, mate. I mean, this is more your area than mine because obviously I didn't start watching until 2000. Now, although I've seen matches and stuff, you know, from that era and before that, I've never, like I said, I think, to be honest, mate, I don't think I've watched any pay-per-views. I've watched, like I said, I've seen matches, but I've not seen pay-per-views. I've all seen like the documentary, like the Austin versus McMahon documentary they did was really good. It sort of, you know, filled out that rivalry really good up until about 99, I assume. So it was really good. But yeah, so I mean, I've seen like, actually that's a lie. King of the Ring. Is it 98 when Mankind flew off?
Yes, King of the Ring.
So I have seen that in its entirety. So, but there isn't many. You know, apart from 2000 forward, going backwards, I've seen plenty of matches. I've seen like Bret Hart's and Shawn Michaels Iron Man match and Mania and stuff like that. But I've not seen the whole shows. You know. I have seen the whole WrestleMania where Austin becomes champion. but there isn't many. I can't put it this way. I'm finding them hard to. I think it may only be King of the Ring and the WrestleMania. Is it 14 when Austin became champion? So
yes, it was WrestleMania 14.
Yeah, so I've not seen many past that. So you're gonna have to point out a few more for us. We've got plenty of time, mate. Plenty of pay-per-views. Obviously, I don't know what pay-per-views after SummerSlam this time. But I'm sure we can do something, for every pay-per-view review we do. In terms of nowadays, we'll do a classic on Patreon first, and as well as to sort of coincide with it, maybe, as well as all the other stupid things we've got planned going forward. But yeah. D'Lo Brown versus Val Venis, mate, European Championship. Obviously, if you have listened to mine and Nick's top 5 WWE bouts, you'll know that the European title made the cut for me. So I do like this title. To be fair, mate, I don't know what you think of this match. I love this match, to be honest. I mean,
it is a good match. I mean, as a show opener,
it's a bloody good match.
As show openers goes, it's a good match. It's a good story being told as well, with the whole D'Lo Brown's chest protector. And,
what's that about?
I was hoping you wouldn't know about that. Right. Do you know, we're going forward a bit here, but I need to introduce him now to explain the situation.
Okay.
Did you recognize the guy that was the Owen Hart's trainer in his match, Dan Severn? Did you recognize him at all?
I've heard the name. So you said, sorry, you cut off a bit there, mate. So you said Dan Severn. Yeah. Dan Severn.
Dan Severn, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
he
basically, long story short, he is UFC royalty along with
I got that vibe because of the match later on in the pay-per-view. I kind of got that vibe. So, yeah.
A few months earlier, or sometime before this, D'Lo Brown was having a match with Dan Severn, and he's got him in some sort of a bit of a full Nelson, where he just pins his arms and just pulls his arms back behind his back.
Oh yeah, okay.
And
so they're saying pectoral, aren't they?
The referee's there asking D'Lo if he wants to submit. He says no, and then you just see Severn just cinch it in that little bit extra, and D'Lo just starts screaming his head off. Just to think, bear in mind, I was about 10 years old at the time this was happening, so I was like, Jesus Christ, it's killing it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, so that's and then he apparently tore the pectoral muscles, and so that's the reason for the chest protector. But obviously, JR is saying in the commentary that this happened a fair while ago, and his pec should have healed by now.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
He's using the protector as more as for an advantage over his opponents rather than for its intended purpose.
Yeah, it gave me vibes of like Cowboy Bob Orton, because obviously I know who that is because he came back in, and I've obviously seen some of his older stuff. But he had that cast on his hand, didn't he, for a long time, and would use it as a weapon. So it gave me vibes of that. The match itself, man, it starts off slow. In fairness, but sometimes you gotta what's it say? Crawl before you can walk, and walk before you can run. Yeah, exactly. Because because it's a competition between two competitors, and they're trying to. But something I did like about it, mate, which we don't have anymore, the announcer announced there was a 60-minute time limit, and we don't have time limits anymore. And it's a shame, really. So it always gave it that, especially when it was a championship match, you had a longer time limit. So it always gave it that vibe. But I'm not going to lie. When the match started, I'm kind of I'm watching it, but I'm like, okay, this is all right, and it just escalates and escalates and escalates, and then you think it's over, and then it's not over, and then I remember Val coming off the top rope and D'Lo catching him with that like sky high and hitting him with that power bomb, sort of as they call it on the commentary. It was a great match, man. I got annoyed by the fact that it's all right for D'Lo Brown to wear the chest plate, but it's not all right for Val Venis to wear it. And then the referee grabbing his leg. What the hell's the referee doing, man?
You do not see that anymore either. I mean, as JR says, you never put your hands on an athlete unless you're forced to.
All the referee should have done there was utilise the 5 count. That's what he should have done.
Yeah, that's all he should have done, really, yeah.
But part of the story, though, as it went along, and, eventually, it's a bloody good match. I don't really know the stuff they do in the match, the moves. It's just what I get nowadays. You get people complaining about rest moves and stuff, and it's like, well, it's not. It is a rest move, but at the same time, you're trying to work down your opponent. Come on, buy into what we're selling here. So there's a lot. But it is for an opening match at SummerSlam for the European title. How many European title matches can you pick up and go, that's a freaking excellent match? I think this is one of the up there, to be honest, mate, for a European title match. I was really impressed.
But not just that, what you were saying about people saying about rest moves and that lot. I mean, you've had your bit of training when it comes to actual wrestling itself, so you know what it's actually like to be in that ring. I don't, but with all those lights blaring down on you and
it's warm, mate.
The adrenaline pumping from the crowd and everything like that, you are going to get tired doing it. So,
I mean, in terms of mine, I only did basic, and I only ever did academy matches. I only did one or two, so but that was in front of the other trainees, so I never actually did it in front of a crowd. In fairness,
yeah.
But I did commentary for EVW a while back, and just being sat and doing commentary under the lights is sweating. So these guys and women are just running. It's cardio. There's moves. There's flips, and I tell you what, mate. When you take a bump I have done that. You take a bump on the mat. If you don't do it right, you can lose your breath. It does knock the air out of you sometimes, coming off the ropes even. So, yeah, I appreciate you bringing up my training. I wish I'd done more, and I wish I could have. But I part of it was just money and job, and the other was health. To be honest, mate, as it turned out in the end, different story for a different day. But but I still would got involved with it and stuff, and it's good. But yeah, you've got to have that. But it's not. I don't look at it as a rest move. I know it is. We all know it is. I think some people get too hip to wrestling and like they love to use the words like heat and look, he's drawn colour and all this kind of. Do you know what I mean? They get too bogged down with the technical words and forget.
But then normally the people that you hear complain about, it's a rest move, blah 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 blah, it's coming from the people that have never actually done anything in the ring themselves. So they have absolutely no clue what it's like.
Yeah,
in just a normal wrestling match, let alone one of this caliber.
To be honest, how I put it is, if when you watch a film, you see, I don't know, freaking Matt Damon in the Bourne films, and you think, that was cool when he jumped off the building. Yeah, he didn't do it; a stuntman did. Wrestlers are the actors and the stuntmen rolled into one, and women, sorry, but they are taking those bumps in the ring. And I tell you what, yeah. You can put your arm up, you can do this, you can land properly, but I tell you what, you still walk away with welts and sometimes bruises and sometimes even worse. You might end up walking out with a broken arm, or you might not be walking out at all in some cases if you're not doing it right. So that's why they train, and you've got to be a fairly, at least a decent cardio on you, definitely. Yeah. Otherwise, you get blown up. But yeah, back to the match, mate. I mean, obviously, I liked it. You said you liked it. I mean, it's a bloody good match, to be fair. What the fuck is the ref doing? As I said, but other than that, the ref ultimately costs Val Venus the title, and D'Lo walks away. Yeah. And I love the fact that Val Venus, because we see multiple attempts of him trying to hit the money shot, which is a splash off the top rope. And he just doesn't get it, and then eventually he does get it because he hits on the ref once he's been screwed out of the title, essentially. So, it is good, man. I do like when Val Venus came out. Two things: when he's doing his entrance with that towel and he's taking off and he's doing that whole rubbing it on his ass and sexual thing that he does. When his name comes up, if you pause it, I didn't mean to do this. I paused it to answer the phone. When I look back up, I've got Val Venus on the screen with the logo. And where he stood, it looks like he's naked, apart from this Val Venus is covering, Val Venus. And the other one was, what does he say? You probably remember this better than me.
Oh, you mean his comment? The big Balboski has arrived at the Big Apple. I came, I saw, and I came again.
The crowd.
I'll tell you one thing though. People always go on about how the divas were used back in the day as not using them in the way that they should be used like they are nowadays. But I'll tell you what, the women in that crowd, the way they're looking at Val, it's not much different from the way the men looked at the women back then. So.
It is, yeah. I thought, to be honest, those women they showed in the crowd, and I no disrespect to them, I thought they were plants, to be honest. I thought they were like, but they were there for the whole show. At least I saw one of them later on, so I'm like, okay, fair enough. So, I mean, I'm not going to score the matches, mate, to be fair. I love this match. I love the story that was told in it. I was actually genuinely frustrated that Val Venus didn't walk out with the European title. And I will admit, I kind of want to find the next episode of Raw the next night to see if anything happens. Do you know what I mean? Because I've not seen any of it. So, I love the match. I thought it was really good.
Well, I don't think I have actually as well.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't? Sorry.
Not that I can't remember. Obviously, it was over. It was what 14 years ago. So
there you go. So then I got a little bit disjointed, mate.
Way more than that. What am I talking about? 14 years ago.
2022 now, mate.
Years ago. Yeah, 20, I'm 34, not 24. What the hell am I talking about? I wish I was 24.
I know it's late at night when we're recording, but there's no excuse, all right? Just excuse us. I got a bit disjointed with this next one, and you actually had a complaint about this. Now, I didn't. I thought it was a bit weird the way it cut, but it's Kai and Tai versus the Oddities. Now, I have seen a pay-per-view where the Oddities come out, and they have like quite an elaborate entrance, and the whole crowd get involved, and it's a good thing.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Has this been cut out of this cut?
Yes, it has. It has, because the insane clown posse who does the Oddities entrance come out, and they do their entrance live. They have it playing in the background as well, but they do the two group members actually do sing along with it.
Oh, okay.
And unlike the DX band, the Insane Clown Posse are bloody brilliant when they're there and doing it live. You know what? I tried Googling it so I could send it to you so you could see it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. But I do recall hearing years ago that there was some sort of problem. I don't know whether it escalated to legal problems. I remember exactly, so I'm not going to say anything about what I thought it was, but I think they had a bit of a falling out between the ICP and the WWF management. What it was over, I've never really been told for definite what it was, but I think things got a bit frosty towards the end.
Oh, okay.
So that might be the reason why. It could be a totally different reason. I don't know, but
it'd be interesting.
But yeah, it is really fun watching their And you said about Golga having the South Park shirt on. When he comes out, he's actually got those real the like plastic dolls of Cartman. He's got one of those. Got like a stress ball, the ones that you can squish in together. He's got a big Cartman one of those. It's so funny.
Oh, okay.
It is a really fun entrance.
I mean, I'm not. I know who some of them are, but I'm not overly familiar with them. But there was something I don't know if you know this, and I'm sure many people do. I mean, it's very. I mean, Kai and Tai for a start. We'll go there first. Kai and Tai, as I know them, are Funaki and Tanaka. Is that right?
Yeah.
You know the whole evil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I saw this group of all these others, I was like, who the hell? And I recognised the one because I remember seeing the clip during one of the Raw anniversaries, and it's the whole storyline with Val Venus and his missus in it, and they're chopping off the PP, as he says.
So funny.
Him crying over his new shoes in this match. This is a comedy match, to be fair, mate, isn't it? At the end of the day,
of course it is. It is so fun, but even JR says it in the commentary. Well, we never advertised this one to be a classic, folks.
yeah. I was actually, and again, I don't know what else he has done in terms of wrestling, but I was quite impressed with Kurgan, to be fair. He was quite good in this match. I mean, the others were kind of weird and odd, the Oddities.
The only one of them that I have no clue over as to who they are is the Giant Silver. Because obviously we know Kurgan because he's also gone on to do acting roles. He was in Sherlock Holmes with Jude Law and Robert Downey Jr. He was in 300 with
Do you know
Gerard
what?
Butler.
Hang on, before you go too far. I didn't know you knew this because I recognised Kurgan straight away from the film Pacific Rim.
Oh, I haven't seen Pacific Rim.
Oh, okay. So you're aware of his acting career then, basically? Is what you're
I'm aware of his acting career. And also Golga, I believe, I'm 90% sure of this, he is, before he got the Golga gimmick, he was Earthquake.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm not 100% sure,
That'd be interesting to know, mate.
I'm sure it's him.
That'd be interesting to know, actually. We'll have to revisit that at some point. But yeah, this match, I haven't got a lot to say about this match. To be honest, I was a bit indifferent to it because the way it started, it's like the cut was really bad, and I'm like, what's going on here?
If it hadn't had the entrance out, it would have been a
probably-
lot better.
yeah,
'cause their entrance in this match is absolutely brilliant.
The tie-dye t-shirt and the trousers of Kurgan is like, what the fuck is going on? But it is of its time. I haven't really got a lot to say about this match other than, it was fun in places, and, towards maybe the last 10 minutes of it, it was actually quite fun to watch. But other than that, I don't have a lot to say about it, to be honest, mate.
Yes, and it's just to confirm, Golga was Earthquake before.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? I was going to do my due diligence and actually Google it, but I thought, Nick will know. So there we go. Now, ironically, I watched the Jeff Jarrett on the Stone Cold Sessions, and I'm sure many of people have seen it. So this is quite ironic that we lead into the next match, really. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hair versus hair match. Jeff Jarrett versus X-Pac. Howard Finkel, basically Jeff Jarrett, don't piss me off on the guitar and everything. X-Pac had a good run as like the 1-2-3 kid and X-Pac for a little while, didn't he? It just didn't seem to shift the gimmick in like 2000, 2001. He could have probably he didn't evolve, I don't think, the character. So eventually he kind of dwindled off into the sunset. But, he's come back and been in the Hall of Fame with DX and all that. So, it is what it is. Had a good career, X-Pac, to be fair. I think he's been European champion, tag team champion, intercontinental champion, I think, as well. Light heavyweight champion. He had the light heavyweight title and the WCW cruiserweight title during the invasion angle. So,
he's certainly got his list of accolades.
Yeah. I mean, the only title he didn't have was the heavyweight, if you look at it that way, So, in terms of WWF anyway. So, but yeah.
Remember that for later.
Okay, I will. So the hair versus hair match, there wasn't much given in this other than Jeff Jarrett's being a bit of a twat, basically, and then ends up cutting Howard Finkel's hair, which, to be honest, there wasn't a lot to cut in the first place. He should have done it years ago. And you know what, mate? Howard Finkel coming out with X-Pac, not only with the DX top on, but also with the bow tie still showing as well.
So good. Do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of I don't know why it reminded me of this, but it does.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the 2001 Royal Rumble when Drew Carey comes out, and you get King turn around and go to Drew Carey when he's in the Rumble. Take your glasses off. You're not a Dudley.
Yeah. I love that 2001 Royal Rumble. It's a freaking great pay-per-view, and the Royal Rumble itself is amazing. But yeah, it's something quite disturbing seeing Howard Finkel doing the suck it chop as well, to be honest. I'm not going to lie.
Completely out of time as well, by the way.
Something I picked up on this pay-per-view... Yeah, out of time completely. Something I picked out on this pay-per-view, mate. I don't know whether it's the way the ring was then, or the way they mic'd it up, or the way the guys were. Because the oddities and the kind time match was, it is what it is. But most of the matches, when they're sort of slamming them or hitting them into the corner, man, it sounds... They're working quite snug, I think, and working... they're hitting... obviously not really hitting each other, but you know what I mean. Well, they're laying in their shots then, I suppose, is a better way of saying it. And the sounds coming off the ring sound really like... Oof, that sounded like it hurt, I don't really know how to describe it, but it sounds harder, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the way that I was thinking as you were going through them, I think maybe like the ring sounds a bit rickety. Like there's a couple of bolts that need doing up a little bit more, so that you get that extra. You don't get that extra rattle from the ring whenever like a foot hits the floor or something like that.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was the way. Maybe it is. Maybe the ring was harder then, or these guys are just working a lot harder then, because every match felt like it was hard hitting as well. It didn't feel like, again, apart from maybe the Kai-En-Tai Oddities match, but although there were moments in it, but like, the European title match and, and this one felt very hard hitting without, and I don't mean with weapons, I mean like the wrestling. And I don't know how to describe it. It was really cool to watch, to be fair, mate, is what I'm getting at. The hair versus hair match, do you know what? Because I've never seen, the only other hair versus hair match I think I've seen is Edge versus Angle. So this is only like really the second one I've seen.
Yeah.
But what are some of your favourite parts in this match? I loved this match, to be fair. They told a good story. They were laying it in, and there were some good moments in there. A good camera cutaway, by the way, when X-Pac went for the Bronco Buster. and Jeff Jarrett actually got his foot up apparently into the groin area, but we didn't see it because of the camera cut. But Howard Finkel's protesting and the referee that this happened.
I mean, it's just, I was. You were saying about X-Pac when he was in the WWF. I mean, I was a big fan of X-Pac when I started coming back, when I went to WWF after going from WCW. But no, I like the like his martial arts background that he has, his educated feet, as they like to use to say. And then the way you have the Southern Justice get involved towards the end as well, and then the way that Dennis Knight swings that guitar at X-Pac's head. Just as he ducks out the way of it, Jesus Christ, he was swinging for the fences with that.
Well, I'll tell you what,
it's a good job. It's a good job we didn't hit him.
Yeah, I was going to say, because he swung that. I swear I could hear the.
Yeah,
I swear I could hear it when I was watching. I was like, "Holy crap!" And did it come?
Then you hear JR go trying to Mark McGuire X-Pac. Now I believe Mark McGuire is a baseball player, so I'm assuming that's correct. But I'm not a baseball fan, so
nor me. But
it would make sense.
But it's kind of poetic justice because based on what I'm aware of during this run, Jeff Jarrett's used this guitar on quite a few different people. He's been shaving other people's heads and all this kind of stuff. So to get the guitar to the face, and it was a bloody boom as well. It was a freaking. I know they hollow it out, and it's like it's designed to do that, but damn. I didn't mean for that to come out as Ron Simmons or Farouk, but damn, it was a bad one. Again, I like this match. I thought this was a cool match, man.
As I said, it tells a good story. I mean, after the match, I like it as well when Southern Justice tried to get Double J out of the ring to get him out of there, and then next thing you know, the Outlaws come out with those chairs and think, nope, you ain't taking him.
Yeah, Mosh and Thrash as well coming out. Droz, I think.
Droz,
yeah. So yeah, there was quite a few in there, and every time they were cutting bits off of Jeff Jarrett, it was landing on like either
Howard's head,
and they were using it as a wig and all that kind of stuff. It was quite funny, to be honest. They do try and get they need to get Jarrett out of the ring, so they're trying to carry him out the back to finish his haircut, but he slips away, and then Southern Justice, did you say? I wasn't sure who they were, to be honest.
Southern Justice is the tag team. It's Dennis Knight. You may know him better as Midian.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not sure who the other guy is. I think. Have you watched the recent documentary on the network, Table for Five? It's basically the Undertaker's old click buddies, the BTS.
I've not watched it yet, actually. No, I haven't had a chance to. So I'll have to give that a go.
I can't remember what his name is, though. I apologise to the bloke, but I can't remember his name.
Nah, that's all right. But yeah, it was a cool match. There's a few matches tonight in this pay-per-view that I really liked. And the European title match, and this one was good. You know, I like this as well. So after that, we're going to lead into Miro Jacqueline versus Sable and the rookie Edge, which is so weird to see him as a rookie.
Tell you what, I watched this pay-per-view back because I knew we were going to be watching this. I thought, ooh, I forgot about Edge.
Well, earlier
I thought you might like that with Edge being there.
Yeah. Well, earlier in the night, we see Edge just in the crowd. And I wasn't sure if this was his debut or whether he was, or what was going on, really, to be honest. So
I've got a hunch that this is his pay-per-view debut.
Oh, okay.
But again, I could be wrong.
Yeah, you might be able to tell me what's going on here, because we cut to a segment with, I know him as Michael Hayes, outside the Lion's Den, talking about this upcoming match later on. And they have him listed as Doc something.
Doc Hayes. Doc Hayes, he was known because that was the first name I knew him, but I never knew him as Michael Hayes until after.
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, I knew him as Michael Hayes. So
I think the reason that they did that is because when he transitioned from being a wrestler into like commentary and that lot, I can't remember if it was him that wanted to do it or if it was Vince that insisted on he doing it. I think it might have been his idea actually. He cut his hair. So it was like basically a new style. Because I remember if you know Michael Hayes from the Freebirds, he had like the long blonde hair.
Yeah, I've seen footage and stuff. So yeah,
looks a bit like Dog the Bounty Hunter, if I'm being honest. But yeah, he cut his hair, new look, new job, so to speak. So yeah, that was the first I'd ever known of the man. I didn't even know he was a wrestler at the time. I mean, as I was only 10 when this came out, so.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So yeah, I've always known him as Michael Hayes. So I was like, what? Why is his name Doc? whatever it was. I think did it say Hayes? I don't know.
Yeah, Doc Hendricks, I think his name was.
There you go. So yeah, I was like, why are they called him that? It makes no sense. But there we go. Anyway, we move on to Miro and Jacqueline. Now, I'm familiar with the Miro Sable sort of story. Not all of it, but most of it. Basically, he oppressing her and, treating her like garbage when she was really the star, basically.
Oh, yeah, she stole the show in that.
Yeah. But Miro and Jacqueline. Now, Jacqueline, I believe, was in like wonderful. Is it World of Women's Wrestling or something like that? It was called. I've forgotten what it was called now. I had it written down, but I've lost it. Anyway, there's actually a series based on it on Netflix. Women of Wrestling, I think it was called something like that. Anyway, I think Ivory and Jacqueline came via that. So it was a thing they were trying to do at some point. I've not seen the series.
Oh, right.
I've not seen the series. I know I know it exists, but I've not seen the series. Sable comes out. We are told that she just grabs a mic and says, "Here's my partner. You think you know me?" Music hits kind of to the one. It's not quite the one I know, but it's got the general gist of it, so you know what it is.
Know where it's coming from.
And I tell you what, mate, you talk about Sable's physical in this match, and Jacqueline, and you talk about the way women. It took from about 20.
I'm telling you right now, mate, Jacqueline especially. I mean, don't get me wrong, she was as hot as hell, but I think if you'd have placed Jacqueline in the women's division today, in her prime, she would dominate because she was.
Sable as well, mate. To be honest,
and Sable as well. To be fair, but I think Jacqueline especially. I mean, she could. To be honest with you, we were saying in a previous show about like the likes of China, Natalia, and Karma being in the Rumble. Jacqueline could have easily been in a Rumble and held her own.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100%.
She was tough as nails. She was.
But what I was getting at was like we had that Diva era, didn't we? Where they kind of had matches, but they were like 3, 4, 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. And they were basic, bare bones, apart from maybe Trish and Lita going at it, which is a bit later on. But they, I don't know where this change in attitude sort of came from, because it looked like, at least with Jacqueline and Sable during this mixed tag team match, mate, they were laying it in and they were beating the crap out of each other.
They weren't holding back.
Exactly, and it was this mixed tag match was really good. I enjoyed this. I mean, you might take away maybe Edge. Spanking Jacqueline in the walkway. Other than that, I think this is a good wrestling match between these two teams.
Yeah, I like the teamwork by Edge and Sable at the end with the.
It's brilliant, mate. It's brilliant.
Where he lifts her up and slams her down on Miro.
Yeah, I know. JR says something like, "Every guy wishes they were Mark Miro." I'm like, no, I want to be Edge. That's what I was. So there we go. I mean, there is a little bit in this match where the TKO's hit, which is a great move anyway by Sable.
I love the TKO; it's a great move.
But when she goes for the cover, she's kind of advertising the break, because the way she covers Jacqueline, she's not on the shoulders, mate. Basically, is what I'm getting at. You watch it back, she's not. Yeah. That's the only two gripes I have about this match is what happened in the walkway between Edge and Jacqueline. I don't think it needed that, to be totally honest. I know it got to pop out the crowd and everything. I don't think it needed it. And Sable advertising the fact that Miro was going to break up the pin. But other than that, mate, this was a great mixed tag team match.
Yeah.
Any favourite moments in that, or is it just...
I mean, more so now. Obviously, I didn't know it at the time, but it was nice watching it back the other day and seeing Edge... as the rookie in the company. That was nice to see.
And he's undefeated at this point as well, isn't he? So
yeah. So
how long before we get Christian coming along then?
Christian, Gangrel comes along before Christian.
Okay.
Because if I remember correctly, Gangrel wanted Edge to join him. And then this is obviously what leads into the Brood storyline. And then they had a match, or I can't remember if Edge had a match against Gangrel or Edge had a match against somebody else, and it was an important match, like a title, like an Intercontinental or European title match. And Gangrel brings Christian down to the ring. Now, Christian was introduced to everyone as Edge's brother, not just the best friends that we know them as nowadays.
Yeah, I didn't.
So that was how. I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't think it was that long after this though.
I hate the fact that
Because
they
I had a look on Wikipedia just to see all the matches and that lot, just so I knew what order we'd be doing the matches in. And there is actually there's pre-show matches which I didn't know, and one of them, unless I looked at it.
Well,
there we go.
They do Sunday Night Heat, don't they, beforehand?
Yeah, that was what it was. H, so 2H would have been second match on Sunday Night Heat. Good thinking, Batman. Was Gangrel defeated Dustin Runnels, or Goldust as we know him as. So Gangrel was around at this time. Now, whether he was just on Heat at the time, or whether he'd made his Raw debut by this point, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I mean, I thing is, I know with the Edge and Christian thing, what I was trying to say was when they dropped the mantle, they were no longer brothers. Obviously, when they were sort of both retired, they just became best friends. And it's like, but you kept the gimmick going between Undertaker and Kane for a long time. We all knew that they weren't really, but you kept it going. So I don't understand why they had to drop the Edge and Christian aren't really brothers thing. So, but there we go. Great tag team.
What? Finishing summing that up. One of my old jobs that I used to have, there was a lad that was also there that I worked with, and he was interesting as well. And I said to him the one day about Triple H and Stephanie McMahon being married, and he looks at me and just goes, "Mate, what the bloody hell are you talking about? It's all fake." I was like, "Mate, look it up. They are actually married in real life." And he's like, "Shut up! It was a work, you idiot. It was a story. It was like, mate, Google it if you don't believe me. But they are actually married in real life." And he just wouldn't have it. I was like, "Okay, on your break, just Google it and I'll take an apology." And he came up to me later and said, "Yeah, sorry, bud."
Well, it sounds like somebody else I know when I told you who Undertaker beat for his 10th victory at WrestleMania, and I said it was Ric Flair, and you went, "No, it ain't." But
what crap was that?
It was you, mate, and you had to pay for my football session the next week, if I remember rightly. So there we go. When you think you're right, you think you're right. You're wrong, but you think you're right. I sent this to you earlier after this match. So Sable and Edge get the win. Edge goes back through the crowd where he came from. I like that touch. Him being in the crowd, kind of. I know I didn't really watch WCW, but again, I've seen clips. It was kind of like that Sting sort of character, just in the wings, waiting. Whether they did
definitely, that. Yeah, got the same thing from that.
Like the same vibe they had. I don't know if they did that on purpose or whatever, but it was quite a nice little thing that they did. We come to Mankind backstage, and he is got to defend the tag team titles against New Age Outlaws. But basically, was it this bit, or am I thinking a bit earlier? Because anyway, he goes. Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, Vince McMahon convinced him to compete in this match. Basically, he has to go against the Outlaws on his own without Kane in a handicap match for the tag team titles. And when he does the whole DXing, I've got 13 words for you. How much wood would a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
You butchered that.
I did, yeah, but I gave it a go, mate. Unless you want to try, it's up to you.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Do you know what? Well done.
That was one of my favourite pay-per-views. I've heard it many times.
Yeah, I loved it, mate. I've got 13 words for you. It was like, what the hell? I got to give you a little cheer here for that. That was brilliant, mate.
No, it was.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it was cool, man. Yeah, but Mankind always gives a good promo. To be totally honest, he was brilliant. I think one of the best ones I've ever seen. I think most people will agree was the JR ones, to get to know him as a character a bit more, and then obviously,
yeah, those were really dark, but really good as well.
Really good, yeah, really good. Again, I wasn't necessarily watching it at the time, but it was cool, and I think that one of my favorite. And I saw this they had a videotape out, Three Faces of Foley, and I had that back in the day when I first started watching. I was almost like, all these documentary videos they would do were brilliant, because I could then study the old stuff while I was watching the current stuff. So I was, even though I didn't see the whole Attitude Era, I kind of felt like I've seen most of it, or at least the good bits. But the Cactus Jack reveal for the first time when he's got.
Such a cool moment.
Dude love Mankind, and then Cactus Jack coming out and that music hitting, and that. To be fair, that match is really good as well. To be fair, that he has against Hunter Hearst Helmsley at the time in that street fight he has on Raw. Really good. Yeah, Mankind just delivers a great promo there, really. And just a bit fun.
Props to Triple H in that match, though, for the way he sold that pop when they said when they had the Cactus Jack reveal.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. It's he sold that. If he hadn't he could have just stood there and did nothing, and it wouldn't have meant anything, would it? Crowd were loving it, but if you see Triple H's face and he's not buying into it, then you kind of go, well, why isn't he reacting to this? You know?
Yeah.
Now, I've heard of this, by the way, but I've never seen it. So this was interesting. And I'm talking about the Lions Den match. The way they had it set up, it was adjacent to Madison Square Garden, I believe. It was in the theatre, they said.
In the theatre department, yeah.
Yeah. And this felt like either a movie set for a film that had street fighting, or like cage fighting in it, or it was like somebody's... it was like an illegal cage fight going on or something. It was so random. But you know what? This was quite entertaining, mate. I mean, I don't know much about this. Severin was outside. I know they told a good story in the video package of Owen Hart kind of ripping into Shamrock and stuff like that, and into submissions, and then him training with Severin to, I guess, ready for the Lions Den match. First off, is it called the Lions Den match, or was it dubbed this after?
It was. I think it was called the Lions Den match because if you hear the if you really pay attention to the commentary, JR says that the Lions Den is the name of Ken Shamrock's gym where he trains UFC fighters.
Oh, okay.
So that's where it got the name and everything. But it's actually really interesting as to how they got to this point in their rivalry, because before this, they had a match. Now, obviously, you know what the dungeon is with regards to the Hart family.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They had a match actually in that basement.
Did they? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I can't remember what pay-per-view it was. I would guess it was the one before this, whichever that was. And then, because that's what you hear in the promo that plays before it, you hear Ken Shamrock go, "Owen Hart, you're stepping into my world now." The Lions Den match.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And so then that's where that comment comes from, and so yeah, it's just a really good escalation to the rivalry for me. And you were saying earlier about I can't remember who it was. You're on about with X-Pac saying that he was a former European, former Intercontinental, former tag team champion. Owen Hart, if it wasn't for those tragic events at the Over the Edge pay-per-view, he would have been another Grand Slam champion, in my opinion. Yeah, he was bloody good.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, no question. I feel like in terms of the match, like, I was kind of, when I'm looking at it, I was just half expecting them to go to the top and fall off and all this stuff. If that was to happen nowadays, it probably would end up like that. I love the fact that they kept it in the ring. And was it a submission match? Because there was no referee in there. I'm assuming it was just meant to be a submission match. I don't remember hearing.
No, it was. There was a pinfall. If you watched it back, there was actually a referee on that roof edge bit above the cage.
Yeah, I know. I saw, but there was no pinfalls. I don't think, was there? It was all they were all trying to
I thought there was pinfalls in it personally, but I could be wrong. I mean, I know.
I may have missed it.
But
it ended. Yeah. So, but I love the fact there's a one bit where Ken kind of runs towards the cage, goes up halfway, and jumps back towards Owen, and I thought it was bloody brilliant. It was like Matrix before it was even a Matrix film out.
Or the way that he got out of that chokehold that Owen put on him, where he walked up the side of the cage to flip himself over to get out of it.
It's a bloody brilliant match, to be honest. We see, like, Elimination Chamber and all this kind of stuff, which is good, but I'd like to see a Lions Den match nowadays. I don't know how they would reintroduce it, but I would like to see another one of these. But I feel that it might get tainted because it might become more of a spot fest because of jumping off the top or something,
Problem with you get like with I suppose I don't think it's doing it any disservice calling it a gimmick match, because I mean that's essentially what this match is. But
it was a good match, to be fair. I enjoyed it. It felt I felt uncomfortable kind of watching it because of the setting they were in. I think not just because of the cage. I mean the crowd. Like I said, it felt like it was like somewhere where you shouldn't be watching an illegal fight. That's what it felt like to me watching it.
You expect Brad Pitt and
Fight Club going on here.
What's the other actor thing you'll know? what was the other actor's name?
Ed Norton.
Ed
Edward
Norton.
Norton. Yeah. Obviously, you're trying to just keep the mantra of what happens at Fight Club stays at Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is, sorry, you do not talk about Fight Club, is what I meant to say. The saying I was doing was the Vegas one, which is completely wrong. Yeah, amazing. I love this match, mate, to be fair. I'm actually impressed with what they managed to do in it as well, considering there's a slope there and everything. So, and I was worried a few times when...
It's not exactly the biggest of working environments.
No, it's not, no.
Wrestling.
I was worried a little bit when Owen Irish whipped Ken so hard I thought he was going to go through that bloody the chicken wire or whatever. So I was a bit, but it was good, mate. I don't know how many Lions Den matches there were. Was this the only one, or?
I think there was one more, but I think it was a hardcore version, and it was either a Lions Den match or it was a cage match. I'm pretty certain it was a Lions Den match though, and it was Shamrock versus Steve Blackman.
Oh, okay.
And tied to the top of the den were weapons.
Oh,
so I don't know if you know a lot about Steve Blackman. He was
Lethal Weapon Steve Blackman. Yeah. He was around when I was watching. I can see that. It was, I was just wondering if there was more than one, but yeah, I was just trying to figure out how they could bring that back, maybe. But maybe that might, if NXT was going the same way it was back in about 2018, it would have been cool to have it then. But they brought War Games back. So.
I just thought when they could bring it back. I mean, it's too late now, but it would have been a good match to have between Lesnar and when Cain Velasquez came into it. Not that he did very well when he came into it, but still.
I think it was all hype, wasn't it, to be honest?
Yeah, of course it was.
There we go. I like this match. It was good. Now, I mentioned him earlier. We're going to move on to Mankind versus the New Age Outlaws. Now, this is a handicap match, mate. We're getting onto the home straight now. I don't really know what to make of this match, to be honest, mate, because obviously there's a bigger story going on here that I'm not aware of. In terms of Kane not turning up, and I'm based on what I heard on commentary. This is when Kane and Undertaker sort of became a team. But yeah, I mean, Mankind swinging for the fences. There's a couple of moments in this match them trays they smack him with. I mean, Mankind managed to hold his own a little bit in the opening sort of segment, but the Outlaws bring out a dumpster as well, and I thought, oh my god, I remember seeing the clip of Mankind and Terry Funk being put in it, and the New Age Outlaws, throwing it off the stage and stuff. And I don't know whether this is after this.
Have you never seen that clip?
Huh?
Have you never seen that clip?
Yeah, no, I've seen it. That's what I said. I've seen it. Yeah, it was in the.
You said you never seen it.
No, I have seen it. Come on, listen to me, boy. I have seen
it.
Sorry. Mankind tries to, fend off the New Age Outlaws. It's a bit of a weird mix because I think the crowd are kind of split here because obviously it's 2 versus 1. They like Mankind. They kind of like DX and the New Age Outlaws at the moment. So I think that it's one of those weird ones where the crowd doesn't know what to do. Who do I cheer for?
I mean, you've got JR trying to justify the Outlaws all the way through the match. I mean,
he is. They're going to
take care of business.
Yeah, they're just here to, because this is the situation they've got now. It wasn't their plan. It wasn't their. It's not like they've taken out Kane and he's not here now. So yeah, that's what I mean. Even on commentary, you can pick up JR, like you said, almost justifying, like you said, their actions and everything. I mean, it gets a bit heelish towards after because the New Age Outlaws win, they become tag team champions only with one bout. I don't know where the other bout is. I'm assuming Kane has it. But I mean, there's a bit in this where they do that sort of concerto thing with the trays, even though we haven't heard of a concerto at this point. If you look carefully, the New Age Outlaws do really well here to protect Mankind. And also when
they sort of angle it so the top meets and takes the most of the impact before the bottom bit makes contact with his face. Yeah, it was clever of them.
And also the Spike Power Driver. I always worry about Spike Power Drivers because after what happened to China. But if you look at it, I can't remember who's holding Mankind up. I think it's Billy Gunn. But he angles it so if he's going to land on his head, it's going to be on the side rather than straight on the top. If you watch your back, mate, you'll see what I'm on about. But I think that they did really well to protect Mankind, even though Mankind's known for taking crazy bumps, obviously. So yeah, I think they did. I think they did. It was a good match, but you knew it was, at least from my point of view, mate. I can't speak for anybody else or what you felt at the time, but I felt that New Age Outlaws are going to leave with the titles here, and it's only
one way.
Yeah,
that match.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I haven't got much more to say about it, to be honest, mate. I mean, they throw Mankind into the dumpster, then all of a sudden Kane appears from it, and apparently he's been in the bloody thing the whole time, and then slams Mankind with a sledgehammer, which we don't see him hit him with it, but obviously it's implied.
My word, it's implied.
Yeah. I mean, JR again does brilliantly on commentary to sell this moment of I've smacked, oh my god, the noise. So yeah, mate. To be honest, mate, we're about to move on. It's quite possibly one of the best ladder matches I've ever seen. To be totally honest with you.
Oh yeah.
You've got.
I wasn't able to appreciate it because obviously my age when I first watched this match, but going back to this match and watching it is, it's so good.
It is good.
Really, I mean, everyone goes on about not Bret Hart, sorry, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon, and how good of a ladder match that was. But this one is the one that does it for me because it is just such a good match.
It's definitely it's a bloody, because they build it in a very. I mean, in terms of the match, if you look at it, the high spots they're there when they need to be. They're not overly doing them, and we do have a bit of a wrestling match where we have the ladder. I mean, I'm not saying it's forever, but I'd say about 6, 7, maybe even 8 minutes before we even see the ladder get involved. You've got to mention, obviously, ringside, we've got China, and then Mankind. Mark Henry makes an appearance as well. Again, Nation, was my assumption. I mean, to be honest, mate, I found it a bit weird because earlier on in the night we see Rock doing a promo backstage with the shirt on and the glasses, and this looks like the People's Champion that when I started watching is the babyface. So it was weird to see him like that for me because I've seen Rock as heel in 2003.
It's that first. That always makes me laugh at interview. Well, the Rock is thinking about slapping the yellow right off your teeth if you keep asking stupid questions.
Yeah, he was brilliant with the comments, the interviewers and stuff. And the thing with Rock is he always pushed to do his, especially when he became babyface. I think he always pushed to do his promos live, so they weren't pre-taped. Yeah. I'm not sure about here. I think it was live as it was going, but it's hard to. It's not a spot fest. It's not over the top, and the key moments are freaking brilliant. I mean, even though it's a no disqualification match because it's a ladder match. The winner is to climb the top of the ladder to grab the IC title. Earlier on Heat, they showed a clip of it. I didn't see it, but they showed a clip of it of Rock attacking Triple H and hitting his, I think it was his right leg with the title.
Yeah.
So you've got Triple H coming in, and even that's weird for me because when I saw Triple H and Rock, mate, their roles were reversed. So, but as I found this match,
they would be, wouldn't it? Of course,
yeah. So, but as this match was going on, the crowd, I think, were cheering Rock as well, and Triple H. Maybe it's just a New York crowd. I don't know, but it seemed to be as the match was progressing, especially the last maybe 10, 15 minutes. The crowd were, I wouldn't say they were 100% split, but I would say at least 60-40.
There was a brief time where you can hear a Rocky chant start, and then after a few seconds of it, it turns into Rocky sucks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's it. So you've kind of got a mixed crowd there, which it does happen a lot more nowadays, but it didn't seem to happen as much as far as I'm aware. Unless you went to Canada maybe, and instead if the Hearts were heels, they'd be cheered, and if they were good guys, they'd be cheered. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So that's because they're from Canada, so it makes perfect sense. But yeah, mate, I mean, I don't really know what to add to it. The match was great. We get some blood in it. Brock's busted open.
As you were saying about the China and Mark Henry being at ringside, and as you said, it was obviously a no disqualification because it was a ladder match, but I felt like China and Mark weren't overused because a lot of times you'll get a match where there's somebody at ringside, and I find that they just get involved way too much.
Yeah, it might as well be like a. And it
doesn't give the match the chance to build naturally because it's like when somebody gets involved, okay, yeah, it can bring that extra layer to the match, but I sometimes find that it cuts away the momentum.
Yeah, you got to pick your. That's what I mean. Even the oddities match, mate. To be fair, to a degree, you felt everything had a purpose in this pay-per-view. I'm not saying every match was amazing because it wasn't, but Triple H and The Rock, I think, to be fair, stole the show. I think this is match of the night,
without a shadow of a doubt. Even Undertaker and Austin said in interviews after the fact that I've seen them, and they said like they were in the back thinking, how the bloody hell are we supposed to go and follow that?
Yeah, man. And when Triple H grabbed that Intercontinental Championship, mate, the crowd pop was amazing.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. Yeah. If you've never seen this match, ladies and gents, I would recommend watching it. It's a freaking good match, to be honest.
Yeah. Another thing that I like about this match, though, is not so much the match itself, but I miss the really good catch-up video promos that they used to do. They still do it nowadays, but not as much. Before the matches, so like when you had the Rock and Austin's WrestleMania 17 video package before it to
okay, the promo. You mean the promo video to show people that's what's been going on if they've missed anything?
Yeah, because the one for this one for Triple H and The Rock, it's a really intense video and it's really, really good. I mean, it gets you really hyped up for the match.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's really good. Did they the negative from this? It's not even from the match, mate, and I think you've already touched upon it briefly. That DX band, I don't know whether it's the guy is just not good or whether this, because I could hear in the background, can it go louder? And I heard a no. So I'm wondering if they had sound issues as well. But
did you?
I swear, mate. Have a look back after. Have a listen back later and see if you pick it up on it. It's just as the song sort of started, I think. It wasn't good. And I just didn't enjoy it, to be honest. I wish they'd have just played the studio version, are you ready?
DX intro, I love it.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. I always like the Run DMC on the Aggression CD version, the King of Rock Cool they did with the DX.
See, I didn't like that. I preferred the original.
Fair enough. No, that's fair enough.
I can see why you'd like it. I can see why you'd like it, but it just wasn't.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't like change.
Well, okay, you are an old man in a slightly older man's body now, because you used to be an old man as a young lad. Now you are getting there now, so it's becoming socially acceptable now for you to be a grumpy old sod, to be fair. So overall, mate, as I said, match of the night for me. And to be honest, the main event is not bad, but when you've got to follow that, I want to mention quickly, obviously. I say obviously, if you're not towards the end of the match, we think it's going back and forth. You don't know who's going to win. All of a sudden, Mark Henry throws chalk into Triple H's face, and then China. And so basically, as it ends up, Triple H has managed to. When Triple H hit that pedigree, by the way, which I think was before the chalk throw-in, the crowd went absolutely mental for that. It was brilliant. They get to a point where they're both at the ladder. Triple H is slightly blinded from the chalk, can't find the title. Rock's getting there. All of a sudden, China gets in, low blow to the Rock, crowd pop for it, and then Triple H becomes Intercontinental Champion. And again, like I said a minute ago, the crowd absolutely explode. It's really good, mate. I can't really say anything about much more about it, to be totally honest. It was a freaking great match. Watch it, people.
You heard it here first. It's in the recommendation.
I'm sure it's been said elsewhere, mate. It's been around for a while. It's a bloody good match. We move into Stone Cold versus Undertaker. Now, I was quite hyped for this, to be fair. I've never actually seen this match. Overall, I liked it. There was a bit of a botch, I think, with that stunner. I don't know what quite was going on there. I think it's when when Stone Cold gets thrown into the rope, I think it's the ropes or the ring post. Austin comes out backwards and he's trying to hit a stunner on Undertaker and it doesn't quite land properly. Don't get me wrong, it's not as bad as Vince McMahon's taking of a stunner this past WrestleMania.
God.
Worst stunner in history. Followed up second by the time... Yeah. So, I mean, you might know a bit more about this match than I do, mate, to be fair, in terms of the backstory, but what are you thinking about Stone Cold versus Taker? Yeah, very hard to follow Triple H and Rock, but what are you thinking?
As I say, it's an okay match. It's not Undertaker and Austin's best match against each other, and even they've said that themselves, that it's not they've had better matches against each other, but they prefer more than this one. But no, I still really like this match. I mean, as you say, it does its bit, and I really like the part where, because all the emphasis was on Kane and Undertaker being rumored to being in cahoots now. But then even when Kane does come down to ringside, Taker sends him back.
Yeah, that was good. Part of me actually...
That was a nice touch for me.
Yeah, the part of me thought, actually, when I thought Kane might reappear during the match and then Mankind might come out and have a bit of a brawl with him in the R-Way and then take it back out. But that didn't happen. Obviously, the match goes on. It's hard-hitting. I tell you what, mate, the crowd popped big time when Austin landed that Luthez press. I know it's one of his moves, but the New York crowd loved it when he hit that Luthez press on Taker.
Yeah. There's you were saying about a botch earlier with the stunner. There's actually another sort of botch in this match. It's when Undertaker goes for Austin's whipped into the ropes, and I think Undertaker's looking to do like a flip him over his back, and so Undertaker leans down as if he's bowing in front of him, and Austin just comes and leaves his head above the top of it, and Taker throws his head back and catches Austin right on the chin.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And it just stuns him completely. And then, because I remember watching an interview with Austin about this match, and it was Earl Hebner, I believe it was, doing the refereeing for this match.
I think so. Yeah, I would assume so.
And Hebner comes over to check on Austin after this happened, and Austin's like, "What's going on?" Because I think he said he had a concussion
yes, I've heard this.
And Earl Hebner just goes to him, "You in the garden, boy?"
yeah, it was Earl Hebner. Yeah, no, it's not until you got to that part where I was like, "Oh yeah, I have heard that." Yeah, I didn't pick up on it. Although JR, it says something about him being a bit not silly. But because they're commentators, they're telling a story as well as the people in the ring are as well. So
yeah,
I didn't necessarily pick up on that. I have to watch it back. Yeah, a great match. To be fair, I'm glad that it ended fairly. Kane does come out and stand by his brother after in the R-Way after Undertaker's handed the bout. Doesn't shake Austin's hand, I don't think, if I'm remembering this rightly, but he does hand him the bout, and there's that sort of moment between them where he acknowledges him. And that's it. It kind of ends there, really, with Austin celebrating with the title. And Austin survived another day, basically, as WWF champion, mate. So, it was a good match. Very hard to follow. It's a bit like Hogan Rock, then Triple H and Chris Jericho main event, having to follow that sort of crowd noise, You could put on probably the best match in the freaking world in the main event after something like that. And because of the crowd being so hyped from the other one, like I said, hard to follow. So, yeah. Final thoughts then, bud. What do you think? I know it's your first ever pay-per-view. This is your first ever... how did you watch it? Did you watch it live? Did you borrow a tape? Or
I taped it using the program the VCR to record it.
Oh, God.
And then watched it the next morning when I got back, or the next afternoon, I should say, when I got back from school.
Yeah, that's one benefit at the moment, mate, because the pay-per-views are on a Saturday night now, which means they're on late or early Sunday morning for us, so we haven't got to worry so much about being at, in our case, school or work, if you're in this country. So, overall...
Another thing that I like about the old school pay-per-views as well is that, I think you've mentioned this before as well, how many times in this pay-per-view did you hear JR go, they call the moves as they happen?
Yeah,
You don't get much of that nowadays.
I miss that, mate, to be fair. There was a time when I used to know what it was called, or that's like a modified this, or a modified that, or an inverted this, or, you could call out. One thing I didn't say, actually, in the European title match, when I think it was Val hit a DDT, it was sold properly and didn't do the cover straight away, and was treated properly as it should be. Not a kick out at one. It's a frick. You're being dumped on your head, mate. Don't kick out. I get robbed when it comes to DDT.
Yeah.
So overall, then, mate. We might as well, because we rated Money in the Bank this past episode. So from Money in the Bank 2022, what do you think? I know you might be slightly biased because it's the first one you ever watched. Watching it back,
I am going to be slightly biased. I think this is I know this
Out of 5, mate.
might not be everyone's favorite. Out of 5, I'm gonna go. I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5 because I think that is going a bit too far. But I'm going to give it a solid. I'm going to go. It's between 4 and 4.5 for me. I can't really make up my mind between it. I mean, it is what it is for me. I mean, there's the nostalgia side of it as well, as I said.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, this being the first time you've seen the whole pay-per-view, your opinion will probably be the.
So you think 4? You think 4, 4.5 then, basically?
Between 4 and 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give it a 5. It's not a perfect pay-per-view by any stretch.
No.
But I will.
I wouldn't give it a 5.
I would say if you didn't have The Rock and Triple H on this, I would say it's probably a 3.5, maybe a 3, to be totally honest.
Yeah,
it's good.
I could
it's not bad. But with the Intercontinental Championship match, I think it's a solid 4, to be honest, for me, mate. And it's my real first time watching it all the way through. You know, I've seen clips and stuff of certain things, but I've never seen the... It's different when you watch it in its entirety because you get the whole thing, don't you? I mean, the Mankind, Vince McMahon, sort of him trying to convince him to fight the Outlaws... I don't think it was overly good, that between them two, to be honest. I mean, Mankind saved it with the whole, I've got 13 words for you. Other than that, it was a bit weird until that point. It was weird anyway when he said that, but you know what I mean? It was entertaining at least when he did that. So yeah, solid 4 for me, mate, to be fair. So yeah, good pick, mate, to be honest with you. At some point we will do my first ever viewing, I suppose. Maybe around Royal Rumble time, ironically. But that's it, mate. I think, to be honest, we've done pretty well there. I think it's a good pay-per-view. I've already said it. Match of the night, to be honest, was Rock versus Triple H. Nick, it's been great chatting to you, mate. I don't know what the hell we're going to do next, but hopefully you'll be back on at some point on SJP World Media with me as well, doing some more In the Corner. So thank you very much, Nick.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's always good to chat to you. Thank you very much for listening to the show. Much appreciated. If you're a Patreon, even more thank you. This is for you exclusively. I mean, SJP World Media people will not hear this for about 2-3 weeks, so you get it first on Patreon. So it's always important to give that a follow. Main shows on SJP World Media comes out every Tuesday. Come and hang out, check out, and we'll be talking some WWE news, stuff that's going on, what we're excited about coming up on Summerslam, I guess. So thank you very much for listening to the show, and we will see you all again very soon.
Want to hear this show first? No ads, no fuss. You can at patreon.com/Benny Mac Productions. Thanks for listening.